All right, welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. Hope everybody got stuffed, ate a lot of food. I sure did. I was friggin' miserable. I ate so much damn food. Watched some good movies. I watched usually some of my Thanksgiving time movies. I watched Day of the Dead. What did I watch together? Shit, I don't even remember now. Now that I'm talking about it. Oh yeah, I watched Swamp Thing. The original from 1982, I believe, the Wes Craven one. Those are usually my kind of Thanksgiving time movies. I don't know why, really, but I've just always kind of watched those around this time of year. But it always rotates. Day of the Dead is definitely a staple. I thought about talking about that one, but I really just wanted to finish up the Wrong Turn series because, of course, while I was away, I watched Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead, which is the third installment in this little series of films about cannibals. I'm sure they ate real good, this holiday. And I'll just show the DVD real quick. It's nothing fancy. It's just I'm sorry about that glare. But there's nothing I can really do about it, so I apologize. Maybe I'll move you a little bit that way so it's not as right in your face. But I've had this for a while, I guess, since it came out on DVD. It's nothing fancy. But I remember this one getting announced, and I was super happy to have a third one, because I really liked this series. And at the time, I wasn't crazy about Wrong Turn 2, but I was really excited about this one for some reason. I don't really know why. I was like, maybe it'll be, I kind of heard what the plot was going to be a little bit about, and I knew it was going to mainly revolve around Three Finger. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And this is also the final one in the original trilogy. So after this, it's Wrong Turn. We have Wrong Turn 3, which is the finale of this trilogy, and then we pick up with Wrong Turn 4 and 5, which are the the two prequel films, and then Wrong Turn 6 it's kind of a reboot in a way. We'll get into that at some point. And like I said, I'm going to do the ranking for these after it's all said and done. But anyway, so Wrong Turn 3, it came out, Left 4 Dead, by the way, is the subtitle. Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead. It came out in 2009, and it was directed by Declan O'Brien. So Declan O'Brien would actually, be kind of a mainstay in this series for just a little bit. So get used to hearing his name. Anyway, so this movie, like I said, I was really... Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to say. It also has Tom Frederick, Janet Montgomery, and Tamer Hassan, I think is how you say that name. This movie actually... I'll say this too before I get into the actual review, but it was shot very low budget. I think it was a $2 million movie. And it made about $5 million, I think, just on home release, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what I read. But so it wasn't really. I'm sorry. It kind of injected some fuel into the series a little bit because this movie made a whole lot of money. And so that's kind of why we got the rest of these. And this one is definitely, just like I said in the last video, the second one was kind of a drop in quality from the first film, which wasn't a bad thing. It was still a lot of fun. I really liked Wrong Turn 2 for what it was. This one is also another step down in quality from Wrong Turn 2. So this one, it's basically about a group of inmates that are being transferred to another prison, and the Three Finger, or one of the cannibals, he crashes the bus that these inmates are being transported on, and they basically get lost in the woods and are hunted down by Three Finger and his new little baby or grandson. Because one thing I did like about this movie was that they kept pretty close to the continuity. So if you remember where the second one left off, it really kind of plays into this one. I'm not going to spoil it or anything, but I like how they kept that up. So we're down to, whereas in the last film there was a family of cannibals, and, you see this one in particular, this one, it just focuses on Three Finger and the new cannibal, which I don't remember the name of the new cannibal off the top of my head, now that I get into it. I probably should have looked that up. But, he's got some kind of weird name, like Three Finger, and of course Three Finger is not the he is not the original. I'm sorry, it is not the guy who originally played Three Finger in the first film. I'm not sure if it's the same guy from the second film either. I probably should have looked that up too, but it's okay. That's part of the mystery. But Three Finger does look, about the same from what I remember. And this one, that's kind of what's going on. They're just following these criminals through the woods, and they end up finding this money, and they're trying to protect the money. And there's all these traps and things that are set up in the woods, and there's some really neat traps in this movie, but there's one big thing that brings it down for me, which again I'll get into that in just a second. But that's kind of the plot. That's what's going on. Is it's these criminals with the captive guards, and they're running away from these cannibal people, in the forest. These two, and that's really kind of what's going on. There are some good twists in this movie, and I do like the concept of it, and I like. I like the whole setting, and it's got a nice atmosphere to it. It's definitely a little bit more kind of tamed down. It's a lot darker. It's not, a lot of it doesn't take place in the middle of the day like in the second one. So this it does have a little bit more of a serious tone, but the acting in it is so ridiculous. Some of them aren't too bad, but for the most part, the actors are really goofy. And I think that, and also another thing I like about it is I like the soundtrack, just because it's again, it's a lot of stock music, but that kind of fits with the quality of it, and I do still enjoy it. But there's one, and the kills and things like that, and kind of what's going on. I do like to sit down and watch it because it's goofy. But there's one thing that really bugs me about it. We'll get into this in later movies, but they used CGI so much in this movie, whereas the second one was a good little mix of CG and practical effects. This one, I don't recall really any practical effects off the top of my head. I think all of them are CG, and it's not great CGI either, and that's, again, that's fine, but it's just, I don't know, it just kind of bothers me. I wish, I love the effects of the first two movies, and they did CGI in, of course they used CGI in the second one, and I'm sure the first one, yeah, I know for a fact in the first one, they did in a few scenes, but it really, I don't know, this CG's so bad, it's so noticeable, and they just go over the top with it. But having said that, a lot of the kills are really interesting. I like a lot of the traps that the two cannibals have set up out in the woods. I think that's really cool. I like the location. I like the kind of the plot that's going on. It's just some of the acting is kind of bad, and I really don't like the look of some of the kills because of all the CGI. Not as much as I, for some reason, like Wrong Turn 4, but I enjoy that movie. But that one, it kind of has a nostalgic thing for me. I have a thing. I'll get into that in the video, but I kind of have a personal thing with that movie. That's why I enjoy that so much. But anyway, like I said with this, I'm not going to rate it or anything because I'm going to do the ranking of them at the end and kind of let you know what I think of all of them. But this one, I definitely, it's not, okay, I don't know, because I don't want to give anything away for my ranking. It's a fun watch. It's not one that I'm going to skip. I definitely enjoyed watching it because it is funny because you can sit back and just kind of laugh about this dumb movie, and some of the crazy thing that's going on. And the second one was that way as well. The fourth one, the fifth, they're all kind of like that. They're all very different from the first film. The first one was a lot more serious and had a lot darker tone, and then of course the second one got kind of goofy, and then this one gets kind of goofy, and it just kind of keeps, But again, that's not something that I dislike, completely. I really like the first movie, but I view it, completely separate from the rest of the films, and like I said, this one, it's a good time. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. I think it was a good way to cap off that original, those first three films. I did not expect them to go off on a limb like they did in the next one, or start making a whole bunch of these. I really wasn't expecting that. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I do like the ending to this one. That's another thing I'll say. It has a really interesting twist ending. I mean, it's kind of cliche, I suppose, but I still think I still think it works just fine for what's going on. But anyway, that'll wrap it up on the original trilogy of Wrong Turn. So in the next video, we'll be doing Wrong Turn 4, which is the first prequel, and then I believe the fifth one, you know, the first prequel to the first movie, and I believe the fifth one is too, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, I think Wrong Turn 6 is a sort of a reboot, but it's called Wrong Turn 6. So I don't know. We'll see. I haven't watched that one in a long time. I really don't remember liking it very much, but we'll see. You know, I'm gonna watch it again. You know, for these reviews, because that's what I do for you guys. Oh, and I also want to say this before I completely forget. So I've been you know, working on some masks and things recently. That's one of my side hobbies. I make Jason Voorhees hockey masks, and you know, I have a friend who does Michael Myers masks, and he just redid one for me. Or rehauled one, I guess I should say, for me recently, and it turned out really well. I was thinking about posting a video of it on here, but I started an Instagram channel, which you know, I've never done that before, or Instagram page, or whatever you call it. I'm an old man, so you know, it is what it is. But so I started an Instagram page, and I posted several pictures of these masks, and I post pictures of DVDs. You know, a lot of the people I follow on there, they post VHS tapes, and I don't really have any VHS, but I've got a shitload of DVDs. So I'll usually post things, you know, just fun things on there. I posted a couple the other day, and I'm not good at it, and it's you know, it's a first at it, but you know, it's fun. So I'm enjoying it. The mask looks really good. I'll probably make a video of that to kind of show that off. Anyway, it is the same, you know, name as the channel, DVD_Graveyard. You know, I kind of, again, just post kind of the same stuff. So if you want to check that out, feel free, go for it. And anyway, until next time, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day. I hope everybody had a good holiday. Goodbye.